DFA Online. News and events from different Philippine embassies and consulates around the world. DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day, this is DFA Online here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. The Philippines Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, says an investigation by South Korean authorities is underway on the Norwegian-flagged cargo vessel MV Lunita that was busted for carrying 2 tons of suspected cocaine. Foreign Affairs Undersecretary Eduardo C. de Vega confirmed that the ship is being manned by Filipino crew at the time of the raid. The crew members, he said, are not detained and on board the vessel but are under investigation by local authorities. MV Lunita was at Okye Port in Gangneung in Gangwon Province when the Korea Customs Service and Korea Coast Guard carried out a joint raid on April 2 based on a tip-off from the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation. Local reports said South Korean authorities discovered the vessel was carrying 57 boxes of suspected cocaine. Yusek de Vega said the ship owner has already provided the Filipino crew members a lawyer, but the DFA stands ready to provide legal assistance should the main agency handling the case, the Department of Migrant Workers, or DMW, require. He said the DFA is currently waiting for the official report of the Philippine embassies in Seoul and Oslo.
DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
More news from the DFA. The Department of Foreign Affairs, or DFA, says the search for the 4 missing Filipinos still continues as the Myanmar government shifts from the search and rescue to retrieving bodies in earthquake-stricken sites. In a media interview, DFA Undersecretary for Migration Eduardo C. de Vega said local authorities in Myanmar are now with the assumption that everybody in buildings which fell down would have already died or already buried. As of Tuesday, Yusek de Vega said the 4 missing Filipinos are yet to be found. There were traces of DNA obtained from the 2 corpses believed to be the 2 Filipino spouses before this were cremated, but De Vega said there is no absolute confirmation yet if the said remains were theirs. A team from the National Bureau of Investigation, which was earlier deployed to Myanmar, is also checking these samples, with the DNA samples provided by the next of kin. The DFA earlier confirmed that most of the already decomposing remains retrieved from the Pancake Sky Villa condominium in Mandalay, the same building the 4 Filipinos were feared trapped in, had to be cremated due to lack of cold storage facilities in the city. At present, Yusek de Vega said many members of the Philippine humanitarian contingent are now stationed in Mandalay to help in the recovery efforts there. Meanwhile, he said some 15 Filipinos have been safely transported from Mandalay to Yangon, where they were staying for the meantime. The DFA, he said, is also ready to repatriate them should they wish to return to the Philippines.
DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
And news from the Philippine Service Post, the Philippines recognized the transformative power of sports to drive social progress and foster peace and development at the commencement of the 2nd United Nations Games at the United Nations headquarters in New York on April 2. Speaking at the opening ceremony, Ambassador and Deputy Permanent Representative Leila Laura Santos highlighted the Philippines' recognition of sports as a powerful tool for fostering human development, nation building, and promoting the well-being of its citizens. Meanwhile, Filipino boxing legend Manny Pacquiao graced the opening of the UN Games, delivering an inspiring message as one of the special guests. In a pre-recorded video message, Pacquiao urged the UN to continue using sports as an instrument and a unifying force to foster cooperation, solidarity, tolerance, and ultimately contributing to peace and development. Mandated by a UN General Assembly resolution, the UN Games aim to promote unity, trust, and well-being among diplomats and UN staff members in New York and leverage sports as a powerful tool to promote peace and cooperation. This year's UN Games will run from April to May 2025.
DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
And that wraps up today's edition of DFA Online. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, I am Win Peñano. Good day.
DFA Online. News and events from different Philippine embassies and consulates around the world. DFA Online. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.